Hi there, my name's the Rev Chris Hood, and I'm here to talk about we're returning to our church buildings for worship this coming Sunday, and we're going to come to St Andrew's Church, and we're going to be here at 11 o'clock. Just a reminder that if you want to book, you need to book a ticket, and you go do that via Eventbrite. That gives us an idea of how many people are coming, and it also gives us a record of who is here, which is important for the regulations that we're asked to do. I'm simply going to talk you through. When you come into church, there might be a bit of a queue. I'm sure there often is. Can I insist that you keep 2 meters apart from the person who's in front of you, and just move sensibly in as you come in. So I'm just going to walk us through now. I'm going to try and walk up a step without falling over. Here we go. I'll keep walking in. So as you're going to arrive in church, you notice it's a little bit different. What the first thing to notice is that you're not going to get given booklets and order of services. The order of services will be put on the seats where we're going to ask you to sit. And the first thing you notice is there's lots of signs explaining what it is that we want to do. And the first thing you need to do is you need to sanitize your hands. You know the rubbing your hands for that. I think we say the Lord's Prayer rather than sing happy birthday, unless it's a significant birthday. Then once you're going to come in, you notice that the area at the back of the church here is closed off. We're not able to serve refreshments after the service. So just be aware, and at the end of the service, which, you know, we're going to ask you to leave quickly. And if you want to talk, I guess you can talk outside, but not in church. There'll only be one way in, which will be through the door we just came through. When you come in, you're going to notice that every other pew is going to have a bit of ribbon across it, because we're going to ask you not to keep 2 pews apart from other people. And when you come to sit, I'd ask that you sit towards the front. It's very un-Anglican, but fill up from the front if you can. And as you come in, each pew can have a social bubble, which is like a household bubble that can work. And you can sit in there. If you're uncertain, you will be guided. If there are 2 people, and if you sit at either end of the pews, that's the 2 meters distance between you. But I try to commend you, where possible, to keep as far apart as possible. And then as you come along, you'll be coming towards the church. Just a reminder that when we're in church, it's going to be different. It's going to be a spoken service. We're not allowed to sing, nor are we allowed to respond very positively to statements and acclamations, because we don't want spittle going everywhere. You know the droplets, you know that sort of stuff. So when you come, your order of service will be on your seats, and you sit in your seats, and then obviously there'll be moments perhaps when we might ask you to stand. Even though I said there won't be singing, there may well be music. There will be pieces of music to think and reflect to and to respond to. But please, no singing. I think we're going to say no humming as well, because humming's just a step away from mouthing the words, and we don't want that to happen at the moment, because that's what the guidance that we're following. Toilets are going to be open, but there's going to be a one-way system, and you're going to ask you to sanitize your hands before you go in, so you don't get the handle, so the handles are clean when you go in, and they're regularly cleaned. But there'll be a one-way system. I'll explain that when you get here. You don't need to remember too much for now. At the end of the service, we're going to ask that you wait to be dismissed, which sounds horribly like when I was a teacher and I used to do assemblies, and you dismiss a row at a time. We're going to ask you to leave a few people at a time to manage the door, okay? To manage the people going in and out of the door. And you'll be instructed on how it is that you leave. Now, it's really important that we understand that when we're here, this is worship. We're worshipping. We just need to worship in a different way. We've got to understand, what does it feel like to worship God at this time in this place? And that's going to be different to what it was like 110 days ago. And do you know what? It's probably going to be different to what it's going to be like in 110 days' time. But we need to be continually asking God and praying to him about how is it that we can worship him in spirit and in truth with integrity. Now, key thing to remember, if you are vulnerable, please do not put yourself at risk by coming. If you are vulnerable, and look at the government guidance about what vulnerable says. Very important, very significant, that one. We're still doing online services. There won't be singing, there won't be socializing afterwards. Those are important to remember. And please do remember, if you're coming, it would be lovely to welcome you, but we are going to ask that you book via Eventbrite. There's details on our website, great video on how to register, and once you've registered once, it's really easy. And if you're having problems and for some reason you can't do it, then give myself or David, or I think David White or Richard Copesett, we're all happy to help talk you through it. Okay, we look forward to seeing some of you on Sunday, but we also look forward to continuing to see some of you from my study at 9:30 on Sunday. Final bit from me. When we come to do the 11 o'clock, when we come back possibly to do a communion on a Wednesday, we'll do another one of these videos. When we come back to do our 8 o'clock Book of Common Prayer Holy Communion service, we'll do another one of these videos, each time to explain to you what to expect. Be in touch if you've got any questions. God bless. Goodbye.